I have a garden that needs some serious tending to, and so I'm gonna head to the nursery and take you along with me for the ride. Let's go. Okay, I have returned from the nursery and I think I may have gone a little bit overboard. Maybe I didn't get quite enough. Hi, Cal. Hi, Cal. Say hi, Cal. Hi, buddy. Like I was saying though, is maybe I didn't get enough stuff, but this is everything that I got. I got peppers to replace all the peppers that I lost. I'm gonna do my herb garden again, so I got some herbs. This is a habanero or a ghost or a Carolina Reaper. It's a Carolina Reaper. Some more peppers, some beans, cucumbers, a habanero, some zinnias, some dahlias, you know, and some marigolds back there. So I'm gonna get these unloaded and then into the garden they go. So I think I'm gonna leave these jalapenos here. They still have leaves on them. And so I'm gonna leave them to see what they do. I have plenty of space for some of the other things that I have, or some of the other jalapenos that I bought. So, but I am gonna replace anything that leaves on it are minimal. There's just no point because it's gonna stress the plant out, I think, to try and regrow. And then I am gonna helicopter mom this garden like nobody's business. I am going to probably be covering up some of the center plants again. I don't know, I can't really cover up these things, but yeah, I don't want to feed the mice, okay? All right, so the first thing that I'm going to go in with are these poblanos. I will probably put 4 of them in here because this is a pretty big box. But I had actually only 2, I believe, growing in here, and then they got eaten. So I'm just going to go in with 4 and then place the other ones somewhere else. And these guys are really nice size. So we're going in with it. Like that. And I'm just gonna pull those. There's just no point in having them. Anybody else? Just me? Smell soil? Love the way it smells. All right. The last one in here. Gorgeous. Perfect. Okay. So I got 2 more. I'm gonna set these aside, and then these will just kind of be filler plants. Beautiful. Next, I am going to plant these bell peppers. These are just a mixed variety. So there's like orange, yellow, red, and purple and green. I don't know what's gonna grow, but I think I will do, I might also do 4 here and then 4 there. But that'll leave 4 extras. All right, those are done for now. I think I might throw a zinnia in here. Maybe that's overkill, I don't know, but I'm doing it. Okay, pretty. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do over here is I am going to plant these 2 poblanos where there is a water line. And then I am going to plant these hot peppers just down the line that way. And actually one of them is not a hot pepper, it is just a mini bell. So I wish there was a way to get these to stay better. I think the dripless, some of the drip line is too stiff. Okay. Like this one is supple, this one is stiff. Okay, so those 2 poblanos are done. I actually can plant one more something over here on this end. So I will do that if I have extra peppers. So when I was at the nursery today, I asked them if they carried anything that would attach to my hose and also attach to my spigot so that I could feed my plants through the drip system. Because the only ones that they carry are the ones that are the sprayers that attach to the end of the hose and they spray. And I don't want that. I want something that you know, feeds directly through my drip system. And they don't carry anything like that, but she did give me the keywords, the important keywords to search, and I found it on Amazon. It's called an inline fertilizer. Duh. So I ordered one of those. It's coming. Unfortunately, it is not going to be here until Sunday. So when that gets here, I will show you at the end of this video, I think. But I definitely need to add more soil to this here, because she's a little low, but that is good. I'm glad I found one, or at least was told what the proper term is so that I could look it up. So that's coming. This is the habanero, orange habanero here. I have a habanero that I overwintered last year, but it just got ravaged by whatever was eating all the leaves. It does have peppers on it, so that is good, and it does have leaves on it still, but you know, that kind of stuff stresses the plants out, and it takes them a while to recover. So I got a new habanero, and then a Carolina Reaper. I don't know what I was thinking, but I never know. I just impulse. So that's gotta go. And so this little Carolina Reaper is gonna go right here. Boom. Maybe I'm hoping it'll just burn the little mouse's mouth. But I don't think that they taste heat like we do. So, maybe not. Okay, that one is also done. What's next? Unfortunately, I do not think that there is any hope for these guys because there are no leaves on them whatsoever. So those are coming out. Sad, I know. And then I am going to plant, these are just, they just say, oh shoot, I got the pole bean variety. I thought I grabbed a bush. Ugh. Okay, well, whatever. And I actually have about 8 bean plants in here. So like there's 2 here. I'm just gonna leave them. They can grow happily ever after together. So I will put maybe 3 plants in here. Well, it's actually gonna probably be more than that. This one is a single plant. And then I will put 1 down here. And that one will probably be a double because I said so. Okay. I know it's a little off center, but whatever. So these can go back on. I think I need to adjust. Oh, stuck. So there we go. And that one actually has 2 also, so there's 6 plants in here. And then I will get a cage over this one. Now these 2 in here, I am just going to leave because they do have leaves on them still, but I will just add a couple more in here, like 1 here and then 1 on the other end. And we'll just see what happens. Probably not the best time to be doing this because it is pretty darn hot and I can tell that some of these are wilting just a tad, but whatever. They'll be fine. Okay, so I have 1 extra. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, so I'm gonna set it aside. All right, it is the next day, and yesterday what I didn't record was I went ahead and covered up everything I planted because at some point yesterday, the poblanos that I planted had been nipped, and I don't know what did it. Like the tips of them had been nipped off. So I decided to go ahead and just cover these and then come back this morning when it was also less hot. I am noticing an extra large number of yellow jackets in my garden for some reason. Like there's a couple of them trapped underneath the garden cover that I put on those plants over there. And then there's also just some flying around. There's at least, I would say, 8 to 10 in here right now. So I don't know what that's all about. I've never had that problem before. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and finish planting the rest of these peppers that I have, and then I'm gonna throw some random flowers throughout the garden. But first, see, yellow jacket. There was another one in here, but, and then they're just randomly flying around. I don't understand. But as you can see here, nipped, 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 and then you can see, I think you can see, I think you can see the leaves on the ground right there. So, and also right there. And that happened during the day, so I don't know what it was. But now I just need to decide what I'm gonna do, because I have 6 jalapenos, 4 other bell peppers, and 1 bean. So I think that one's gonna be okay. That's a jalapeno. This is a habanero. So I need to put 2 here because there's nothing there. And I think that one's toast. And I'm not even sure what that was. Habanero. Okay. Okay, I have my jalapenos. I have a empty hose right here. I lost my shovel. So I'm just going to dig out with that. And then I am going to label all of these because they are just going in random spots. My pen is dying. And I've noticed with these little spiky things that hold the tube, that if you stick it in the actual compacted soil of the plant, it seems to work better. So yeah, just something I kind of found out by accident. All right, I think I'm gonna take this one out because it's just, there's no point. And I have extras. Some of these have 2, so and that's just not looking very good. Ignore my dog in the background. He's playing with his ball. I'm just gonna leave those ones together. Okay, and I am going to cover these with baskets just to help protect them and get somewhat established. All right, so over here is that cucumber that I pulled out of the basket as soon as I got home, and let's see. I need to kind of help it twine itself up this. And then I did get some more cucumbers, so I'm just going to plant them in here. Now there's 3 of them in the one container that I got. So somehow I'm going to try and fit all 3 of them in there. See, 3 of them in one container. So I'm just going to try and get them in here as best I can without getting bit by one of these yellow jackets. And these should be, yep, pretty easy to take apart. And these will also get baskets over top of them until they're established. Like this one. And then, this doesn't really matter where this one goes. So I'll just put it right here. All right. What else do I have? I have 4 bell peppers and 1 bean. Now I have this whole entire planter box right here, but this is still poses a problem because this is where my asparagus was, and asparagus is very, very hard to remove. So I don't know that I'm going to put it in there. I have enough room for 1 here and 1 here. I just need to put in a drip line. And then I have these 2 boxes over here at this gate, but I think I'm going to plant more peas there, even though it's been getting really hot here and I don't know that they're going to do very well. So maybe I can put the peas and the bell peppers in there, and at least I'll have something growing. And I actually don't even know if I have pea seeds left. So I will put the bell peppers, I'll only do 2 in each box, and then I will come behind with some peas if I have seeds. But I will just put 2 in each of these boxes. Get out of here. Let's do this one over here and then I'll just see if I have any peas. Alright, I did not find any peas, but I did find some beets. So I'm just gonna fill these beds with beets, I suppose. So I've got golden beets, I've got Jupiter beets, and I've got Ruby Queen beets. And the thing about beets is that each little seed pod contains like 2 or 3 actual beet seeds. All right, so I have lots of marigolds, and I think I will just go and randomly plant these throughout. And then aren't these pretty? I have a couple different dahlias. I think these are gonna go in my front garden bed, but I have these 2 here. And then I bought 2 6-packs of these zinnias. And I think these are gonna go in my front flower bed also. But the marigolds are going to just randomly go in the garden. Oh yeah, and then I've got my thyme and my oregano, which will go in my herb garden. I'm just gonna get these marigolds just kind of spread out and planted and be done with it. All right, I think I'm gonna take the rest of those marigolds with the rest of these flowers and put them in my front flower bed. So my garden feels complete again. It feels good. There are some things that hopefully will recover, but I think I bought enough plants to offset what was destroyed. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you again soon.